love the channel and find it useful in becoming a happy retiree. Subscribe today. Andrew joins us from Swanee. Andrew, what's going on? Good morning. Welcome to Money Matters.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So, interesting for me, this year I took early retirement from my company after 28 years.
Whoa. Okay.
And so as a result, got sort of a early retirement lump sum from that. And then I was reemployed very soon after that. So this year is going to look like, on paper, almost like a double income thing. And I'm just wondering, unusual year, any things I could be doing from a tax perspective to not get such a big hit?
Well, a couple of thoughts here. So Andrew, when you say that you're given a package from the old company and that now you're already reemployed by the new company, are you talking about extra income, or usually a lump sum is something that can be rolled into an IRA that is not taxed? But it sounds like what you're saying is that this is some sort of compensation that you will in fact get taxed on.
Yeah, absolutely correct. It'll be a lump sum income perspective. Yep. Got
it. And what is this, like an extra 6 months or an extra year of pay? I mean, how much are we talking?
An extra year, yeah.
Wow, okay. So you have an entire extra year, including what you've made up until, what month did you work up until?
February.
Okay, so you had a little bit of normal income January, February. Then they gave you the entire year's salary. And then how long have you been working at the new job?
Since April.
Wow. Okay, so you're going to have literally a double income.
Pretty much.
So a couple of thoughts here. I'm sure you've probably already done this, but at the new place, have you already? How old are you, Andrew?
53.
53. Okay. So you can do the 401k catch up, and have you already maxed out the full 401k plus the catch up?
Yes.
Okay. So you got this another $24-some thousand that you've already saved into the new 401k. And I guess the question is, what do you do with the rest of this money? How about deductions? Do you itemize on your taxes, or do you do all this on? Do you do the standard deduction? And are you single filer or are you joint filer?
Joint, and I deduct. I itemize because I have lots of charitable contributions and things like that to take advantage of.
Got it. Okay. I would tell you that that's obviously, to some extent, I think your best bet is your charitable contributions. The IRS has extended that. You can do that up to 50% of your adjusted gross income. So obviously, that's going to be a bigger number this year for you, allowed, than you were in prior years. Let me ask you this. How far away? You're 50, you're 53. So when do you think you will get to, do you have a target date? How many years until you think you might be in actual retirement?
I'm planning to take it all the way up till 64, 65, around that range. I want to make sure and maximize what I'm putting in and minimize taking out. So I'll probably work right up until typical retirement age, probably 64, 65.
Got it. Which I would still call early retirement. For most folks in America, they don't have the ability to be able to stop working that early. So I'd call that a relatively early retirement. Here's one thing that I see that happens very often is that you end up in retirement and 95% of your savings is retirement money. So those are the easiest vehicles to use, right? You've got your 401k, you set it on autopilot, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and you've got 95% of your savings in an IRA or a 401k. And that's wonderful. The only issue is that then you create another tax issue in retirement, because every time you need to go tap that IRA, it is new income. So if you need to live and it costs $80,000 to live, well, you got to pull that out. And then, oh, by the way, we need a new roof this year, and that's another $20,000. Now you've got to take out more money in your IRA to pay taxes on it. Then you fix the roof. So these big expenses really can impact what your adjusted gross income is, because it's all coming out of the IRA, and every dollar you take out pushes you up further on the tax bracket scale. So there's real power, and it's a really important and probably not talked about enough in having, I call it your sacred after-tax money. So you want to try to have a balance in retirement. And this gives you the opportunity to do that, Andrew, because you have these 2 years of income. There's nothing really you can do beyond maxing out your retirement accounts. You're still going to have a bunch of money left over after taxes. And that's just a good old-fashioned after-tax savings. And it becomes really, really important in another 10 or 15 years when you're actually in retirement, because that's the money that you can access without a whole lot of a tax burden. So if you invest, have you already invested this money?
I'm keeping it fairly in just as high a yield savings as I can. My goal, I've got a son who's 13, so I've pretty much made that his college fund. So whatever I can do to direct that direction is what I'm doing.
But, okay, so if you take this money away, of the money that you have saved, let's call it for 62, how much of it is 401k/IRA money? What's the percentage?
Ask that again. The income funds that were given are pretty much put in a high yield savings at this point.
So it's really not, so again, it's getting 1% to 2% a year.
Yeah, at best. Yeah.
Okay. And how old is your son?
He's 13.
He's 13. So in another 5 years or so, you'll be starting to pay for college.
Right.
This is my thought. This is what I want to leave you with today. Is that again, we very often have all of our retirement savings the money we're going to use ends up in accounts that are going to be taxed when you pull it out. That's your IRA. That's your 401k money. In your particular case, you have the opportunity to use this money. Yes, it makes sense logically. Hey, I'm going to use this for college. But you need some after-tax money for retirement too, because you've got to have a pool of money to get to if you've got a big expense. So not only do you need money to live on that can come from your IRA, but what happens if you need to buy a new car or you need to fix something in the house? You need to be able to get to money that doesn't push up your income, hence pushing up your tax rate. So I would have you think about this extra $50,000 or $100,000 that's now set aside. Some of that should sure go to college, but you've got to put a portion of that, and I would tell you at least half of it, towards your own retirement. So the whole thing, in my opinion, doesn't need to sit in a savings account getting 1% to 2%. I would give at least half of this a retirement-like time horizon, meaning that, hey, this money's got 15 years, not 5 before your son goes to school, but 15 years that you can actually use that for your retirement, meaning that can get invested beyond just a cash savings account. Hi, I'm Wes Moss, and thanks for taking a minute to hear about what's so different about my new book, You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think. So unlike other retirement books, this book will give you a step-by-step guide, whether you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, to learn from what these successful and happy retirees did to get there. I hope you enjoy the book, but more importantly, I know that it'll help you retire sooner than you think.